What's up, guys? This is a big one. First of all, before I go into that, shout out to Champ, my puppy. He wants to be in the video. But anyway, guys, this is it. This is my collection. And this is also sorted right now as to the worst to the best, at least in my opinion. So, let me start with the worst. The G10 Nautilus trainer. So you might have already noticed that I put these little light reflectant pads, little sticker things on it. I just think it makes it look a little bit cooler. And look, it kind of slides through the light, reflects the light, pretty cool. And guys, before you get the wrong impression, this is in no way bad. This is by far the best trainer on Amazon that I've ever seen. And it's a pretty decent flipper. It will do pretty much everything you need it to do. It's 60 bucks. Oh, sorry, it's 30 bucks. It's pretty cheap. And it's definitely worth it. I would pay the money I spent for this again twice. Like, it's definitely worth it. But anyway, the reason this comes last is it's, of course, from Amazon. So the hardware tends to come out. I did Loctite every single one of these screws. But it is great. It has no play, no tap whatsoever. And I've had it for a while. And still holding up. I mean, I've dropped this thing. I've beat it a little bit. No play, no tap, which is fantastic. But of course, it's not the most comfortable thing. It's sandwich design, which isn't my favorite. It doesn't have very comfortable chaplins because of how the blade is structured. It has slight pinching sometimes, but that's never really been a problem. So that's why it comes last, but still definitely worth it. Alright. Number 2. The Squiddy B. What, Shane, you have to say something? So, the Squiddy B comes next because it's plastic. And it will always have play. It's always going to have play. And it's always going to have tap. But it's still a great flipper that is perfect for new flippers who are looking to get into the hobby. But also, it's nice for advanced flippers looking to learn new tricks because of how light it is. It's very easy to learn new stuff because it doesn't take a lot of finger strength. So learning stuff like, I'm probably even going to use this because I want to learn the ladder. And because it's so light, it's a lot easier on the fingers. So that'll be helpful for learning it. Number 3 comes the Squiddy. Now, this is a head. I made a whole video of why I like this more than the Squiddy B. But the main reasons are just the sheer weight is lower. I find the grip a little bit more comfortable. It moves a little bit more freely in the hand. And overall, I just think it's a more durable and better flipper. And more comfortable, of course. But still plastic. Still always going to have play. Always going to have tap. But I love the Squiddy series because they're very safe. They're very, non-dangerous to, like, your hand. Even if you hit yourself like this, it doesn't really hurt at all. Even if you drop it on your puppy. Your puppy doesn't care if you drop it on him. He'll be fine. If you drop it on the floor. It's pretty durable. So, no big complaints. This does exactly what I need it to do. And I really think that this is a main item in my collection. This was my first ever balisong, so it has slight sentimental value. But I love it, and I'm very happy it's in my collection. Because I would probably rather learn tricks on this than the Squiddy B, for reasons I've stated again and again. But, yeah. Squiddy, love it, but it is plastic, so can't be that high. Next is the Talisong Z. Now, we have to be honest with ourselves here, because this thing, it's pretty expensive. It's like almost $300, right? And I have to be honest with you. It's not very comfortable in the hand. It pinches a lot. And I know I'm supposed to be like, you know, whatever. It's a pretty good flipper. It's not that big of a deal. But the pinching, you can't ignore it. It really makes it a not very practical flipper. Pretty uncomfortable in the hand. If there wasn't any pinching, this would probably be a little higher, because just of how cool it looks, and it's a very, you know, durable flipper. It's a very cool looking flipper. You know, I like the grip a lot, but it has pinching, and see, it just pinched me there. So I can't put it any higher, because this is not something I would flip regularly. I'm super happy I have it in my collection. Just look how cool this thing looks. Look at this champ. This thing is amazing. See, he just wagged his tail a little bit. He even knows it looks cool. So it looks awesome. And I'm super happy I have it in my collection, but it's more of a novelty value thing. And of course, it's a pretty good flipper, but just every once in a while, it's going to pinch your hand, and that's just not exciting. Next, we have the Squid Industries Krake Raken. And can I just say, oh my goodness, look how cool this thing looks. This is by far the coolest looking balisong I have ever had, and probably will ever get. See, even Champ, he's flipping out. Look how cool this thing looks, Champ. Champ. Hey, look how cool this looks. See, he knows. It's by far the coolest I've ever had. It has pretty good grip, but it's a little slippery. The handles are a little bit slippery, and that's why I have it kind of dead middle. Because of the slippery handles. If the handles weren't slippery, it would probably be ahead of the Firefly. But, they're not like, it's nothing that breaks it. Like, you're not going to drop this thing every 5 seconds. It's not slippery like that. And there are, textures at the bottom. But it's just, there's a little bit more slip and a little bit less grip than these other four. So, for those reasons, it's here. But my goodness, it's a good flipper. It's a great flipper. It's pretty comfortable in the hand other than the slip. This looks awesome. Has such a cool design for the blade. And it's channel, which I love. It's got, you know, little grips at the bottom here, which is like perfect for like the backhand fan and some other tricks where your hand is already towards the end here. So very very practical. So I would definitely recommend this. This is a balisong that I would recommend to people. But you know, for the slip and just the overall more comfort for these other four, that's why I have it back here. But it's a great flipper, and I would definitely recommend it to people. Alright, next, we have the BBFirefly. So this thing, there's nothing like this. There's nothing like this. It has pretty thick handles, which is the one thing I don't like about it, but I'll come back to that later. I love how you can customize the colors you want of the handles. That's very cool. The handles have some good grip because they have cutouts here, which gives your thumb and fingers great grip up here. And they have these little etched out lines for the bottom of the handles, so you have some grip down there. So it's pretty grippy. This thing isn't really going to be falling out of your hands, especially because, you know, the handles are so large. So you really have something to hold on to. But while it does have those etched out holes, this, again, has nothing really else for grip. Like, you can see the G10 is grippy within itself here, and the Squidtrainer has little etches all around it. This doesn't have any of that. So, you know, for those reasons, it's back here, along with because the handles are so thick. Some people like thick handles, okay, but I'm not one of them. I feel it makes it feel heavier. You get more tired of flipping. It makes it a little bit clunkier, but it's a very smooth flipper, and I really love this. But it just, because of its thicker handles and slightly heavier, it makes some tricks harder to do. And when you drop it or when you fail, it can sometimes hurt a little bit more or just be a little bit of a rougher fall. But I've never had to tune this thing. I've never really had to give it any maintenance. It came perfect right out of the box. It looks very cool. I really like the trainer blade. And I love the fact that you can customize the handles to whatever you want. But although it looks great and it flips really well, because there's no extra grip on the handles, and because the handles are so thick, I have to put it in 4th place. Coming up at number 3, the 3rd highest, the Squidtrainer. So, I might get a little bit of backlash for this, but I love the Nautilus more than I love the Squidtrainer. And let me explain why. So first of all, when I just got this thing like a couple days ago. But I feel like I've been flipping it around a lot, and I think I can judge it perfectly well based I have on these others, because like I haven't flipped the Kraken a bunch. The only ones I haven't flipped a bunch is this one, the Kraken, and the Talisong Z. All the others I've flipped a lot. So, you know, I may have to make another video if my mind changes, but I don't think it will. Because I took this out of the box, and it had play. You can see there, it had play. And like, okay, it's a little bit of play, right? It doesn't look like a lot. But it has tap. And it kind of scrapes. The blade scrapes against the handle sometimes. I can't really show you with one hand. Yeah, but do you hear that sound? That's the blade scraping against the handle. So that's not really what you want to see. But it hasn't really become much of a problem. I've seen no paint scraping off or anything. And it's very, very comfortable. Because like I said earlier, it has these little etches all across the handles. So there's grip everywhere. This thing feels very, very comfortable in the hand. And I love the blade. I love this matte finish. I wish the Nautilus had it. I really do, because I love this matte finish more than I love the just, I don't know, plain, you know, the plain metal. And I know there are Nautiluses that have this. I don't have any, so I can't judge them by that. But I'm sure if I flipped a Nautilus that had this black matte finish, the Nautilus would be just past this by almost everything. But I really love the matte finish on this. And I love how it has textures on the handles everywhere. And it's a very comfortable flipper. I took this thing out, and normally when you flip a new balisong, it takes like 10 minutes or more sometimes just to get used to the new feel. Not this. Just took it out, and immediately I was comfortable. And I drop it just as much as I do the Nautilus, which is thankfully not too frequently. And it felt fairly comfortable. You know, I can do pretty much all my tricks. I can do all of my tricks. And I've even learned some new tricks using this. Like I'm trying to learn the scissor. I just learned it. Alright, let's see if I can do it. Nope. But I was practicing on this a little bit, and it's pretty comfortable. There's slight pinching sometimes, but it's pretty rare. And yeah, it's a really, really comfortable flipper. I've heard some problems with its durability. I haven't had any problems yet, but the fact that it already came with tap makes me a little bit skeptical. So for all those reasons, I have to put it behind the Nautilus. But this, oh my goodness, it's amazing, and I would definitely recommend this, and I'm so happy I have it. This is probably going to be the main one I flip, and like take to places. Not because I like it more than the Nautilus, just but because it's new and I really like it, I want to spend some time with it. But, I'll stop there for this. And in number 1 and number 2 place, it's the Nautilus. And it has to be the Nautilus. I mean, come on. The Nautilus is just... it's barely a competition. Like, the Nautilus is so comfortable in your hand, I'm telling you. And I like how it has the perfect size handles. Like, I think the Firefly is too thick. The Nautilus has perfect size handles. And it just has great grip, because G10 has a lot of grip, right? And I love the etching design on the blade. I love the little spiky boys here that force you to respect the bite handle. I love the design. I think this winter one looks really cool. Yeah, I have 2 Nautiluses. This is the black one. This is the standard one. And this is the winter edition blue. They're both Nautiluses, so there's no point in ranking, one over the other. But, they're both cool for different reasons. Like, this makes it a little easier to see in dark environments. But this is black, so it looks a little bit cool. Looks a little bit more like a knife. So they look cool for different reasons. I'm super happy that I have both. But, yeah, so basically the reason why the Nautilus is number 1, and let me say, it's number 1 by far. Like, I love the Squidtrainer. I love it a lot, and I'm super happy that I have it. But it's just barely a competition for the Nautilus. Because the Nautilus, it has super comfortable handles. It's been super durable. I mean, I've dropped this thing a lot, and no problems with the hardware, right? No chipping, still no tap. No tap at all. Even on this one, I've dropped this one way more. No tap. Slight play. You can barely see it. There's a little bit, but no tap, which is great, and I just love the sounds it makes. And the Nautilus, super easy to learn tricks on because it's light. Super easy to execute tricks because it's comfortable in your hand, and of course it's light, so that makes everything easier. It's got just enough weight so it carries the momentum of your flipping to help with tricks like rollovers and chaplains. Its chaplains are very comfortable. They stick very well. I remember when I said last time about the Nautilus having like designs, like little, not designs, but like little texture on the handle. That literally just depends on like the grip or moisture of your hands at the time. That really has never been a problem. And if you get the Nautilus with like the black matte finish on the blade, that problem wouldn't even exist. And it's really not even a problem because I've never dropped it because of that, or never really had any discomfort because of that. It's just like a slight thing I noticed. And yeah, the Nautilus, the G10 makes it very durable, along with very light. I love the designs in it. It looks very cool. Along with the G10 being super grippy, it has these holes in the front and in the back, which give it grip. It has this nice line in the middle, which you can really hold on to and feel where it is at all times. And like I said, it's nice and light, so it's very easy to execute what you want. Doesn't take a lot of force. It's a nice casual flipper. You can pick it up and start flipping just while you're doing something else. It's not something like the Firefly where you really have to, okay, this is a big boy. I need to pay attention. I need to make sure I don't drop this thing. But the Nautilus, nope, it's just a nice casual flipper, nice and light, and it's by far the most comfortable thing I've ever flipped. And the only one thing that I think could make it better is if I had the matte finish on the blade. But I don't have that to judge. But I love how it is right now. It's my favorite by far. I love everything about it. I don't have really any complaints. And I have really given both of these a beating. And they flip great. So yeah, that is my tier list. Let me know your guys' opinions on it. I am perfectly willing to elaborate more of my points if I wasn't clear on something. So if you have questions, let me know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. This video has been very fun, and I am planning to do separate videos on each of these balisongs individually, just to give a little bit more context on my opinion and experience with them. But anyway, guys, it's been super fun, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.